Milo at your service.
Prepare yourself. Die, long leg!
Milo at your service.
The High King Mathon ruled the bleak, silent fields of Wintertide. He kept the season as it should be. The blizzards howling, the skies filled with snow in the gloom of a long night. He purified the land under a white blanket and allowed death to end the slow decay of autumn. The woods paid homage in leaves. The waters paused at his arrival. The world revered him in a barren stillness.
Have you perchance met an Almain around here named Deod Dungaris? The damned fool got himself dragged off by Murgan. I'm a field researcher for the librarium in Edessa. I travel and acquire items for gnomes who know best what to do with them. If the disease and wildlife don't kill you, the Murgan will. As you've realized, if you've come this far, it's a dangerous swamp. I hired him as a porter from the Ruthier docks. It wasn't easy finding someone to accompany me to this swamp. Of course, the instant we're in sight of the castle, Murgan ambushed us and made off with him. I hadn't expected to be delayed there for so long. It was just impossible to sneak through the opposing lines before the siege was broken. Nasty creatures. They exploded out of the water and snatched Deod before I could react. I am on an important mission for Templar Julius Mavern. He has sent me to recover an artifact from Bunlock, this hulking castle here. Things haven't gone entirely to plan. I got stuck in Melsenshire for what seemed like an eternity, and now Murgan have run off with my porter. Could you help me out for a bit? I'll pay you for your time. I'm afraid I don't know the exact details. Only that it is small and easy to carry. It must have been built by fools, constructed right in the middle of a Murgan breeding ground. Didn't take long for the Murgan to move in and make a feast of the original owners. Great. First, please retrieve my pack from those Murgan. Deod was carrying it when he was captured, and it contains the key to the castle. I'll meet you at the entrance to Bunlock once you've retrieved it. No one has lived there for centuries. Not surprising, since it was built in the middle of Murgan breeding grounds. My employer is a collector of ancient artifacts. He's very secretive and keeps to himself, but I suspect he is seeking something specific. Deod was carrying it when the Murgan grabbed him. They dragged him off to the north.
child of dust is here for death. Grant their pitiful wish.
I detest
No longer shall we tolerate the war and the vile peasants in the world. The undying mortal from the well has returned. Your mere existence is an abomination against all things. How can you not see this? The child of dust who lives after death. A creature separated from your fate. A being with neither purpose nor reason. You were a mistake. The way mortals found to pervert the world. Soon you shall be cleansed from my lands.
Tuatha have brought war to the Winter Fae. They bring us all into this conflict and turn the Court of Winter into some engine of war. But the House of Sorrows would not join. They resisted. They were the sole embodiment of all winter, all that was great and unique about our people. It could not be so easily discarded.
You there! The Mergen numbers have already decreased. Thank you. Now we can press forward and drive the damned Tuatha back into their hole. Take this. It's not much, but I hope it helps somehow. Tread cautiously.
Excellent. You found my pack and the key to Bonlock. It's still here. Good. Now we just need to find that artifact. A shame about poor Deod. He was a steadfast worker, and I never heard a complaint out of him. Oh well, these things happen. I'll meet you inside, and we'll begin our search for the artifact. I'm heading to Bonlock with the key to unlock the door. Meet me inside and we'll search for the artifact together. The artifact will be in the library, near the back of the castle. You lead, I'll follow. We need to find the artifact. It should be in the library, at the rear. That's it? Not very impressive, is it? I wonder what's inside. Doesn't look like we'll be able to get it open, but my employer might. Here is your reward, as promised. If you'll excuse me, I don't want to linger here.
Another dust from the fire.
stole the secrets of magic, and now they come to take our land. All that they find here shall be death. You struggle against the force of a simple army. How will you fare, I wonder, against the power of a god? Of course you aren't. You may be a foolish, unclean sin against the natural order, but I'll grant that you're no coward. The only solution is for you to be cleansed when Tiernok the Merciful comes to our world. Soon.
For God's love! Enjoy the pain.
Please tell me that barrel of Cruddock slime died painfully. I have another favor to ask of you, hero. The Witch Knight Clarin is holed up in Gennig, the keep on the hill. Meet me inside so that we can hunt him. We cannot let one of the Tuatha's generals escape. We need to go to Gennig, the keep on the hill. Meet me in... Good luck. The Tuatha will die.
I smell
will die. Good, you are here. Laren has filled this place with Jotun mercenaries. He must not have had that much faith in the Tuatha cause. We cannot let him escape. He must die. No doubt he has surrounded himself with Jotun guards. This will not be easy. I am not sure. We must find the Witch Knight, Laren, and defeat him. Until the next time. Body does nothing to lessen my anger. All of the Tuatha will suffer for their barbarity. Thank you, hero. I will return to the main Alpha army with the news of the Witch Knight's death. Until next time.
Yes, I have a moment I can spare for you. Good day.
Can't believe we beat you here. Sidon knows some amazing shortcuts through this place.
The Prismere sentries stole the will of my house. It is agreeable to see you, Siegebreaker. Cluricon can be inhospitable at times, as the Tuatha have learned. We've made sure of it. So I did. We are the Bitter Frost, the last few remnants of free Winter Fae. We have refused to bend knee to Gadflow or his god. Our numbers are few, but we have fought our kin as best we can. The once noble houses of Sorrow, Pride, and Vengeance have all fallen under Gadflow's sway. Until they're freed, the Tuatha's ranks will continue to swell with the faithful. You can't fight a war on your own. And even if you could, you'd find your path barred by the House of Pride, as well as the House of Vengeance. You need a way to strike at their heart. A way to reach Gadflow himself. And we know how you can get there. Blind him, cut out his tongue, draw the venom from our land. Only then shall we be free. The Tuatha have built Prismere chantries across Cluricon. From here, Gadflow rallies the faithful, preaches the word of Tirnoch, and corrupts our land. You've already begun to disrupt his ability to infect this land. Without Gadflow to guide them, the Tuatha in Cluricon will be disorganized and scattered. When this is done, we will take you to Ventrinio. He can help you breach Alabastra. The Tuatha built chantries of Prismere in the heart of Cluricon. From here, Gadflow watches, and his toxic prayers seep into the heart of every Winter Fae. No Fae can withstand their power up close, and no House of the Winter Court can be free until those abominations are destroyed. There are 3 of them, to the south and east. Kill their guards, then smash their crystals and be done with them. Gadflow will try to stop you, but it's just a harmless projection. He can't hurt you. At least, not directly. Go now. Break the tyrant's grip.
So few of the Winter Court left to stand against the Tuatha.
A mortal dares to stand against Tirnoch? Strike him down and so... The earth of his grave. Nothing may... Beyond with our dust. Kneel before Tirnoch. Try as you might, struggle as you will, you are deluded. There is no winning for you, only death. Yes, but death as you define it means little to us. The great cycle returns, each to offer as to offer again. And every time they do, Tirnoch gets stronger. Soon, she will be born into this world. You will witness her power personally, and it will be the last thing your mortal flesh shall ever feel.
Gadflow's voice has fallen silent in this land. The Dwather are frightened and disorganized. They run back to Alabastra to make their final stand. We owe you much. Our eyes are opened and our blades unsheathed. Cluricon is won. The House of Pride stands between us and the final goal. We are now free to press forward. And I can take you to an old friend who knows the next step. Yes, we will take you to his filthy tower on the island of Danistar. He hides within, and has not emerged in some time. I would like nothing more than to let him rot there. But he knows of a way past the sentinel of the House of Pride. But there will be more danger on the path ahead. Take these blades to prepare for whatever troubles you will face at his tower or beyond. Far to the southwest, there is a darkened tree by the Caelid coast. Meet me there, and we can walk the shadow to the gnome's tower. Aelin Shear will be waiting there. She was most insistent to join in whatever business you have with the Collector of the Dead. You've seen Ventrinio leave the island before, but until recently, always had company. Usually they were henchmen. Sometimes they were corpses. And once, not too long ago, it was you. My people are no strangers to exile on the barren island of Danistar. To steal back our freedom, the House of Sorrows forged a path to the coast through living shadow. It's safe so long as you keep your eyes closed during the journey and ignore the whispers. Meet me at the Caelid coast. The Winter Fae know of a shadow path to Ventrinio's island. We will meet again at the shadowed tree on the Caelid coast.
My friends used me for their own gain, and why not? I was, after all, a powerful sorceress who commanded the elements and conjured fear in the heart of any who would oppose her. Oliskar, my apprentice, the entire time was inciting the rabble against me, the witch. You should have known better than to trust him. And Atham, of course, right there, stealing from my library and purse. How could you be such a fool? Atham was someone I thought I could trust.
Walking through living shadow, eh? I'll leave that one to you. I won't lie. Aylin's been a big help. She saved me once or twice at Melson's Shear when she could have just let me die. Still can't shake the feeling that she's hiding something. But whatever it is, it's probably not too sinister. Probably. No, I think you can handle that one by yourself. I have some work to do with the army in Cluricon.
Hail, adventurer. I am Bruin the Bard, spinner of stories, seeker of adventure. Allow me to welcome you to the Caelid Coast, haven to the wise and wicked. These brave soldiers, the finest of the Alfar armies. They escorted me all the way from Melsenshir to these verdant lands. Alas, our journey together has come to an end. But there is still adventure to be had, so join me. If not, then I bid you fair warning. Your journey shall be far less exciting without this storyteller at hand. Brune was the name given to me by my mother, the lovely daughter of the full moon. A skin like the glow of alabastra. Long ago, I was the court bard of Castle Gastir, the teller of tales, the spinner of stories. But when the Bolgan invaded, well, they had no need of my expertise. Lord Eren Gastir was a very wealthy lord and a powerful landowner. I don't care to speak much more on the subject, thank you. This lush land was once the royal domain of two great Alfar families, the Anciles and the Gastirs, the most powerful of bloodlines and the most bitter of enemies. For centuries, the two houses warred over the coast. So enamored were they with each other that they blinded themselves to the real threat. And so the Bolgan came and conquered. The houses fell before them. One might say they were toppled by their pride. The wonderful gentlemen and ladies of the Alfar armies have been kind enough to act as my loyal escorts, all the way from Melsenshir, and before that, Erethel. Without these good, hearty folk, I never would have survived. The voyage across the sea would have been enough to sink my spirits. A wise question, and a fair one. As Bard of the Gastir Court, I know all the tales of the Caelid Coast, of how this great land rose and fell, and became what it is now. Allow me the pleasure of your company, and I will lead you through these luxuriant lands, spinning stories of times long since past. I had a good feeling about you. Someone who cherishes a good story. Let us proceed. The first stop on our tour begins across the bridge behind me. Alas, there is one small problem. That area is favored by our enemies. If you can clear the area of them, I will follow and join you. We must clear the spot ahead of Bolgan. It is a famous place, and they sully it with their presence and their stench. Goodbye. I will remain here while you... clear the way. I'm of no use against Bolgan. Goodbye.
Be on your guard.
Through the woods and mountainside, through the hollows and green meadow, through the summer
winter day and night, through the hallowed halls of sea and foam, through the vents of the clouds, echo the footfalls of the leaves of the veil.
The Tuatha are on the run. Good work. Plus, it's much more pleasant here without Gadflow bellowing at me from all corners. But enough pleasantry. Are you prepared for your reunion with Ventrinio? The notes we got from Octien say that you were employed as Ventrinio's assistant in his secret laboratory. You were with him in Alabastra when you died, but the notes weren't clear on what happened. I'm sure the two of you have so much catching up to do. Very forthright of you. I'm sure he'll be very reasonable. He probably won't even ask why you're back from the dead. Just make sure he lives long enough to get us into Alabastra, and you can count on my help. He's a worm, but a useful one. Octien took quite a risk setting him up in Cluracan. Must have made a lot of deals to keep him safely hidden away. I believe our new friend has a disturbing path of living shadow to offer. The Tuatha have forced their war upon us. They eagerly cut through mortal flesh and mortal bone, and as a reminder of their they display these mortal corpses throughout the land, turning sanctity into putrescence. The bodies remain on our ground and on our gallows tree, floating.
Excellent work. You are clearly much more proficient in the ways of war than most visitors of the Caelid Coast, even the soldiers. It would be my great pleasure. Picture it. 10 years ago, the rising sun, a lingering fog. Somewhere in the forest are screams, the cries of battle. Then, silence. It happened here upon this site. The ambush of Gorn Akri. It is here on this spot where the Bolgan drew first blood, killing Lord Erengastir, his son, and their squires during their morning ride. Let us move on, shall we? And if you don't mind, there are more beasts to attend to ahead. The Bolgan have infested the entire area around Castle Gastir, my old home. Destroy them, and I will relate the tale of the First Lord of Gastir himself. Goodbye.
A fledgling hunter by the looks of it. What's someone so soft doing in the Caelid coast? Don't you know this is Bolgan country? Those red devils are really digging in. I've slain many on my hunt for Chernobog. Ha! My hunts are the stuff of legend. Not even that Fey armor-tear can boast to have tracked and slain more prey than I. And now I intend to claim Chernobog, the Bolgan champion, as my greatest trophy from the Caelid coast. The oldest and mightiest of the living Bolgan, he led the armies of Gadflo to victory over the houses of Ancilla and Gastir. Chernobog may be ancient and marred by war, but don't let that fool you. He is as strong as ever. The Tuatha and the Bolgan have kept this land in their greedy pockets for more than 10 years. They can have it for all I care. It's a stagnant pit of decay and despair. Grand fellows and courageous to a fault. They're the ones who accompanied me this far, helped me pass through all their bloody checkpoints. Of course, once I had the chance to take leave of them, I did. One doesn't need a band of glory hunters following him on the most glorious hunt of his career. The scars don't give me away? Ha! You're probably the first person in recorded history not to recognize the mighty Alof the Hunter. Usually my reputation precedes me. As for why I am here in this muggy puddle of piss, I intend to conquer Chernobog, the mighty Bolgan, and win his eye as my trophy. But first he must be summoned, for he won't just face any foe, you know. Only those he deems worthy to smite with his blade. Ha! You're certainly welcome to try, but I'm afraid he'll be much too dead by the time I finish with him. Besides, you still have the offering to consider. Chernobog will only battle those who can prove their ferocity. It is his way of swatting away the flies who don't offer enough of a thrill for his fiery blood. If you can collect the eyes of 10 Bolgans, then you are clearly a warrior who deserves a reckoning. Set the eyes upon Chernobog's war lanterns and the beast will emerge. I've traveled the world and hunted all manner of beasts. I tracked them down, claimed their heads and hides as mine. Krang the Etin, I slew him, as I did the Fist of Korthis and the clan of Craddock elders in Gallifall. By offering the bloodthirsty beast the eyes of once you place that bloody offering on the pedestal and light the war fires, the ugly brute will emerge. Goodbye. Who a... The hunter runs. The hunter runs. Swiftly, swiftly for our lives. A mortal skirt of chain. A mesh of links forged in secret. The hunter runs. The hunter runs. In the chausses of the Fey Hunter.
Another dustling of oil. Feel tear no pride.
You there. You must help me. There isn't much time. I'm the last one. The others may still be alive. The estate of Lady Clary Ancilla once stretched all the way from the Caelid coast north to Cursewood. But that was before the Gastiers invaded and built their own keep. That is a long story. And both those families fell into ruin with the arrival of the Bulgan. You may have met Captain Drune Ancilla. He is the last living heir to the keep. He can have it. An ancient ruin, once home to the great Alfar royals of House Ancilla, but any honor it once housed has been tarnished by the Tuatha inside. Their cruelty is inspired. My parents were wealthy merchants in Rathir, people who did not appreciate the ease in which they had found themselves. I wanted to do better. I wanted to serve. For years I fought against the Tuatha and their corrupt, maddening ways. We had them at first, I know we did, but then something changed. They became unstoppable. I'm not entirely sure. Things happened fast. But it appears that the Tuatha are planning to form a hasty defense here to fight our progress in the Caelid coast. If they can keep us occupied here, it will give them time to prepare a strong counterattack in the south, near Moondown Hill, and deep into central Alabastra. You're a brave soul. Warriors like you must have made the difference in Melsenshir. I wasn't there, but I heard it was quite the battle. The gates to Ancilla are chained and defended, but you can slip in undetected through the refuse pipe. You won't enjoy it, but it's a direct route. Find Private Gottlieb. I have a feeling he's the last one alive. I still hope, but I have no illusions about what you'll find. Thank you, and I'll see you soon. You can slip past the castle's defenses by climbing in through the refuse pipe. I can tell you from... My men are waiting.
Have you come to die? Death is part of the time to perish, mortal.
Smell the stink of mortal blood.
Your life. God,
This Stay indoors after sundown.
My assistant has returned. What do you need of me? Good day.